Hi guys, I'm back with another mani. So I have some full coverage almond nail tips here from 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉, and I've already applied some Mia Secret Extra Bond to the nail. And so I have a color here from Madam Glam, Sunshine Love, I believe that's the name. And just as a reminder, these products are cured in an LED lamp for 1 full minute. They're vegan, cruelty-free, TPO-free, palm oil-free, and HEMA-free. So I'm just applying a thin layer of this color to the nail. This is a 1-color mani. We're going to do some nail stamping and some reverse nail stamping in this video. This set turned out so cute. And this color came from Madam Glam's Secret Garden collection that released on April the 4th. And so if you want to see that collection, I'll link the video in the cards. So you can see that entire collection. That was a pretty massive collection. So once I get one thin coat of color on all of the nails, I do pop them in my LED lamp for 60 seconds. And now I'm going in with a second thin coat of color on all of the nails. And you'll see me going in both directions on the nail just to make sure I have good even coverage and that all sides and cuticle area and free edge of the nail is covered. This is a really pretty color, perfect for spring, perfect for Easter as well. So once I get that second coat on, I do pop them in the lamp for a full 60 seconds. And here are the nails with that second coat of color. Since we're going to do some nail stamping, I am going in with an alcohol pad and I'm removing the inhibition or tacky layer from the nail that's left from curing the gel polish because I don't want that on my stamper head. And so I have 2 plates here. This one is from Moyra and the other one is from Uber Chic Beauty. The one from Moyra is, I think, Fabric Textures 2. And the one from Uber Chic Beauty is Bee-You-Ti-Ful Spring. And so I have some colors here from Maniology for stamping. I have several. And so with the nails, not with the nails, but with the Fabric Textures plate, I'm going in with the houndstooth pattern and I'm going in with this color Winnie. This came in the subscription box from Maniology. It's a really pale yellow. I didn't want to do too bright of a yellow on the nail. I just want to make this houndstooth print the background on the nail, and you can see it blending in well. Really subtle look. It's not too bright or too light on the nail. And so I'm just making sure I have all of the nail covered. That thumbnail was pretty large, and so I had leftover image on the stamper head, and so I just kind of got the edge of that, and it's going to be slightly covered up with another image. And so in between, I do stamp each nail, but I don't show all nails on camera. I am cleaning off the plate with pure acetone because you want to do that so that you get a crisp image every time that you go to pick it up, especially if you're using the same one. So once I get all of the nails stamped with that houndstooth pattern for the background, I do go in and apply Maniology's Velvet Matte Top Coat to all of the nails, and then I'm going to pop them in the lamp. And that's just because I am going to do some reverse nail stamping, and if I mess that up, I don't want to remove that houndstooth pattern if I remove the reverse image or have to do something over. So once I get all of those nails top coated with the matte top coat, I'm going to pop them in my LED lamp for a full 60 seconds. And so here are the nails. And so I'm going to stamp several images from this plate, and so I'm going in with Maniology Straight Up Black, and I did this set using a gray from Clear Jelly stamper, and I did some images in gray and some images in black. Now I did like the gray. I think I should have stamped this particular image in gray because that black is harsh and there's not a whole lot to color in with that first image. So what I like to do when I am doing reverse stamping on all nails, I like to go in and grab all of my images first. So I have several stampers, and I have several that have come in Maniology boxes, or like in a Christmas box or a Halloween box, or some I've just purchased with my rewards. And then I have some stampers like I got from Temu, and also Clear Jelly stamper as well. And so I'm just going in and cleaning up that image. I think I accidentally removed some of this image and had to restamp it. And so I'm just grabbing some of the flowers off of there. Now, Uber Chic Beauty does have some layering images on this particular plate, but I wasn't going to do that because all of the images I do reverse stamp. I don't, I'll color in. I should say I'll color in and then I put it on the nail. So reverse stamp is pretty much taking a hollowed out image and using stamping polishes to color it in so that it gives a full picture, kind of like in a coloring book. You know, you have the outline and then you take your crayons or your markers or colored pencils and you color them in. And so with this particular image, I end up picking that flower up twice because I do stamp it on one nail, like the corners of the nail. And so again, once I grab all of the images, and plus I like to do it this way because by the time I finish getting all of the images on my stamper heads, they're kind of dry and I'm able to go in with my stamping polishes to color those in. And so I tried to grab all of the flower images, and then once I went to put them on the nails, I realized that you picked up too many images, but I used them all. So yeah, I thought this set was really nice, really cute as well. And so once I get all the images, I'm going in with a lasso, which is a golden yellow. And I'm going in with this little 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 brush that came in a subscription box. And this little short brush. And I'm going in and putting that color in the middle of the flower that's hollowed out. And you can see here, I do get out of the lines in some of these images just a little bit, but it's not too bad. And one thing with doing reverse stamping, you want to make sure you get your brush saturated because you don't want to place that brush on the image itself and then you end up picking up the image and you just have to do everything all over. And so this particular image was a little tedious because the flowers are really tiny. The I forget what you call that, not the piston. I don't know what you call the middle of the doggone flower. I forgot. Shoot, my science lessons are failing me from school. But and so I'm just coloring in the middle of those those flowers, and then there's kind of like some bell-shaped flowers on there. I'm filling that in with lasso, and so I'm just going in using the colors. So next I'm going in, I don't know what this color is, mossy or something like that. I'm going in and coloring in the big leaves with this particular color. It's like almost like a metallic green. All the colors that I use, I will list them in the description box below. All of these, if I'm not mistaken, came in a 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 subscription box, and I do believe they are available if they haven't discontinued them on the site. And so yeah, I'm just filling those in. It's kind of hard to see the image on film, and it was a little hard for me to see as well. I know I was watching Sandra's sparkly sets, and she was saying, you know, she wears glasses, I wear glasses, and sometimes with the nail lights on your desk, it's hard to see the images on that stamper head because it's just a glare, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And I do have magnification lenses that I can put on, but I try not to use them. You know, as you get older, our eyes, they don't work the way they used to, but you know, whatever works. And so again, I'm just filling that in, making sure I get that brush saturated with the stamping polish and fill that in. And it doesn't take long for these to dry because stamping polish, even though it's a thicker viscosity, it does dry quicker. It dries faster than regular nail polish. And no, I don't recommend using a regular nail polish to do this. I'm sure you probably could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Now with this image Spring, there wasn't a whole lot to color in. It didn't really stand out too much. It was just that black was so harsh on the nail. And so once I get all that colored in, I'm going in with Bam White, and I will color in the flowers with Bam White. And I'm almost out of Bam White. I actually ordered another one because you use white with stamping. If you're starting off with stamping, get the basic colors like red, black, white, black and white if anything, and maybe even like a silver. And I think 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 sells like a set with primary colors because those are the ones you're going to use often, a black and a white minimally. The other colors are kind of conditional. And you know, you can always mix colors up to make a color, but with this, it's probably going to dry quickly. And so again, filling that in, and I'll fill the rest in, and then we're going to get these on the nail. So once I get all of the images colored in and to my liking, I have, remember I put on velvet matte top coat. So I'm going in with some foil transfer gel. This is from Glitz, Glams, and Accessories and such, or something. I've had it for a while. And I'm just putting a layer of that on all of the nails. That's just because it's foil transfer gel. So when it cures, it's going to leave a tacky layer, and it's going to allow those images to transfer onto the nail. Now you could go on with Maniology Sticky Base Coat. I didn't, because I didn't want to have to wait for that to thoroughly dry before I went in with my gel top coat. That's the only reason. So after I cured that, I'm going in and I'm placing the images on the nail. And y'all, I'm up here hoping and praying that I get these lined up right, so that I wouldn't have to do anything over. And so those images transferred well on the nail with the foil transfer gel. And then with this image, I'm just placing this in the middle of the nail. I thought these colors looked good against that yellow background. You can see the houndstooth. It gives a subtle pattern on the nail as a background. And so with the thumbnail, I should have left it like this, but then once I finished, I realized that I had too many images. And so with this nail, I'm going in with two flowers. One is on the corner of the nail and one is on the opposite corner. I didn't stamp the whole nail, only a part of it, and I thought that was really cute. I could see this going on, doing this with any kind of color as the background. I thought it was really pretty. And so with the pinky, I'm going in with that single flower and placing that on the pinky. As I mentioned, every single nail has a color, and so that was my leftover image, and I didn't want to put the whole thing on the thumb. I just put it on the end. I could have left it off because it kind of threw the nail off. And what's on the underside of the nail, going with the Q-tip with acetone and clean that stamping polish off of the nail. Had something on my pinky, so I'm going in with the Q-tip and acetone and cleaning that up. And I'm out of frame just a little bit. I'm just going on the underside of that nail with that same Q-tip and acetone and cleaning that up before I go in the top coat. Or I could have top coated and did this. Either way, probably could have top coated and then ran a buffer block around it, the nail, just to kind of break the seal of the image that kind of wrapped itself around it. And so here are the nails. I thought they were really cute. I'm going in with Madam Glam's the No Wipe top coat and applying a thin but generous layer. I know that doesn't go together, thin and generous, but I'm applying that to the nail, trying to kind of float it over the image. I didn't want to smear it, even though I allowed these to dry maybe about 10 minutes before I went in and top coated, because I was so afraid that I was going to smear the image. But I was right. And then I check them against the light to make sure that I see a shiny surface all over the nail, meaning that I got them top coated well. And once I top coat, I do pop them in my LED lamp for a full 60 seconds. So coming up are the nails that I practice on with the gray. So this is the set that I did, and over to the right, this is the set that I did. Some of them are in black, and like spring is in gray, which looks really nice against that yellow color. But I mean, either one works. The black is just harsher than the gray. So here are the nails on. I did apply them with sticky tabs, and so I thought it was really cute, perfect for spring. And the background is very subtle. It pops more when I went outside. So this is in my nail room under the LED light. And then I went outside and I took pictures by my little bush. I was so scared a lizard was gonna jump out of there. But here are the nails outside. It wasn't sunny that day, but you get the natural light. And so yeah, I thought they were so cute. So guys, please like this video if you found value. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about this set, and subscribe to my channel. Is still free 99. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you next time.